never leave it till it's too late. Do it now.
Mandy, I'm so excited to be interviewing you about your Kavu clothing line. And I went out into the rainforest last night and we went and harvested
brilliant.
some bamboo because I just think it's so amazing that you have made this Kavu out of bamboo. It just...
that is brilliant. Thank you. Did you have to like dig it up?
We went out with our machete.
Is that quite near to your house then? Is it not far from your house?
Yeah, well, we live on the edge of the Daintree rainforest, and this was a big area during the Palmer River Gold Rush. So quite often, anywhere where there were any Chinese camps, a lot of the Chinese would plant clumps of bamboo and lots of fresh food and vegetables because there were lots of Chinese that supplied food along the gold rush lines. So that was a lot of their income stream, as well as trying to sluice for tin and gold. So yeah, wherever you see a big clump of bamboo in the rainforest over here, you know that it had a bit of gold rush history. So
that's brilliant. Thank you.
And in the Daintree, you have a machete, like you used to have chains for your tires in Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you. That's really nice.
Well, I'm really excited to be interviewing you because not only was I just overwhelmed with gratitude when you discovered the soothing properties of the HappyPause balm, but in reciprocation, I also discovered your amazing creation of nightwear to try to ease those hot flushes and hotflashes and night sweats. And I just am so full of gratitude because I just feel so good every time I slip in to my Kavu chemise. I just absolutely love it. And it has those moisture wicking technologies that it just eases some of that endless sweating where you just think, oh, is this ever going to end?
I know, as you can see, I'm a very hot person anyway. I'm always bright red, you know. So I love bamboo. I think it's just an amazing material. And I hadn't worn bamboo before, or I'd never heard of bamboo as a material. So that was quite a process to like find what would work, what wouldn't work. So yeah, but it's great. It's an amazing material. I think eventually, like, loads of people will wear it. I think it'll become as common as cotton.
Yeah.
But it's just getting the idea out there that bamboo is a material, because you show me the bamboo and you can't imagine that could be made into a material, could you?
No, I know. I have to do it again because I keep going, oh, this is so amazing. I can't believe this. Whatever, they can take this and turn it into such a usable, soft, beautiful fiber.
Yeah. So what you're wearing now is that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Truly amazing. Yeah.
But before we, I suppose, talk about that in entirety, I would like to know a little bit about just your life in the UK and your life that brought you to the point you are now.
Well, I live on a farm. I'm very lucky to live on a farm in Northumberland, and so on my Instagram site, you'll forever see new lambs and things. So I apologise, but they're just so gorgeous. I can't help it. I can't
Keep
help
them
myself.
coming. They make us all happy.
Well, when I see one, I'm like, oh, you are so beautiful. I'm going to have to take your photograph. So I do get a bit crazy with it, but I can't help it anyway. So, yeah, so Northumberland, which is a very beautiful place. Honestly, it's a really nice place. And Gary and I, my husband, we moved here, I don't know, about 8 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, something like that. Because Gary's parents live here. So we moved from Aberdeen in Scotland down to here to be nearer to Gary's parents because they're elderly. So we hope that we could help out a bit, a bit like yourself with your mom. We made that choice to come down here. So yeah. I'm very, very lucky. Myself and my husband, we have the Chihuahua, which you saw earlier. I don't know where she's gone. and we, there's just fields and sheep, and it's just beautiful. Honestly, it's really nice. And I have 2 stepdaughters. One lives in Aberdeen, one's in Glasgow, and my son Dan lives in Edinburgh. So they've all stayed in Scotland, and Gary and I have up ship and moved south to Northumberland. So it's lovely.
And so sorry that you can't travel right now. In Australia, we're just so fortunate, I guess, in some ways, because we've all had the impact across the globe, but we haven't been quite as restricted movement-wise in Queensland, anyway. And
Aberdeen. The UK has been under loads of restrictions, and just when you think it might get a bit better, the government comes out and announces even more restrictions. So I'm not quite sure when it's going to end, really, but Gary and I have just stayed put. We haven't been anywhere. My 2 stepdaughters are in Dubai at the moment, so they've escaped and gone. Before the lockdown came, they cleared off to Dubai. I don't think they're ever going to come back, to be honest.
Yeah, well, that's the same with a lot of Aussies that end up in Dubai as well. It turns into a bit of a lifelong love affair then.
Oh, really? I've never been. So, yeah, they seem to be really loving it. And they're both very attractive 30-year-olds. So I honestly don't think they're going to come home. Like, I think they're going to stay there. So good on them.
Yeah. Well, and good on you for encouraging that, because I remember when I first came to Australia on a fellowship in little conservative Kansas, in the little small town where I was raised, everyone said to my mom, "How can you let her go?" And it was with this tone of chastisement. And I've always been so thankful that my mom just sort of blew beneath my wings and said, "Go, do it, take advantage of every opportunity." And it's always so great when we have women in our lives that do that and just spread that encouragement.
I know, because your parents can make such a difference to whether you stay at home, can't they, or whether you get to go and travel, and that was the only thing I ever wanted to do in life, was travel. When I was little, that was my only thing. And circumstances meant that I didn't travel as far, as much as I would like to. But I was still, I worked for KLM UK for quite a while, as an air hostess. So I got to do some traveling there. And then my background is hotels. So I figured if I was going to travel around the world, the best place to do it would be to live in a hotel and work in a hotel and travel. So I went into the hospitality industry. So I've done a fair bit of traveling, but I am feeling a bit caged now, to be honest. I'm ready for a holiday, definitely.
Yeah. Well, and for a holiday, we were talking a little bit before we started this segment that we both overlapped, and we were both in Vail in our younger life for a couple of years in Colorado. So have you ever traveled back to Colorado?
No, I haven't. I honestly haven't, because there's so many places that I would really like to go. And so then I think, should I go back and see what it looks like now? But then I'd be thinking, well, I've already seen Vail, so I should go somewhere else. But no, I really would like to go back. But I think that's quite amazing that we were both there at the same time, isn't it?
I know. I just feel like it's a sliding doors kind of moment. That's just so neat. And I think just from talking now, if we had met back then, we would have just clicked and been lifelong friends.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Yeah. There was it was a really nice environment. It was completely different from anything I'd ever seen before, and I loved it. What I found really strange, there was no children, like no schools and children.
Yeah.
And like not really many animals, was there? There's not really many cats and dogs and things. Yeah. So that was a bit like, a bit surreal looking around, and it was all kind of people our age, all partying all the time and having a great time. But no, I loved it. Honestly, it was a really good experience. Definitely wouldn't change it. It was fab. Yeah.
And then fast forward to now. Can you tell me a little bit about your menopausal journey?
I think I've been really lucky. I had the perimenopause. I didn't even know it was the perimenopause, and I had really severe like bleeding problems. It was terrible.
Not lucky, sorry. I thought you meant,
But I just kind of thought that would be normal. That's just like a normal. So I didn't go to the doctors. I still haven't visited the doctors at all. And then when my period stopped and I realized it was the menopause, I went through a phase of, well, I still have brain fog. That's been one of my big ones. Can't remember the names of things, or just, I'm not so bad at like remembering things. It's just the names of things that I really struggle with. And then the night sweats were a killer for me. And that's when I decided I needed to see if I could buy something, or like what was on the market for nightwear. I thought there must be something out there for nightwear that you can put on and it's going to make you feel a lot better. So that started my journey. I was on a mission to try and get rid of the night sweats. So that was the worst symptom I had. I know some people have like millions of symptoms, don't they?
Yeah.
I was lucky. Really, I was very lucky. I only had about 3 or 4 really things that were really bugging me, or still are. I honestly, I've been very, very, very lucky. Yeah.
Well, and for me, I guess I'm really curious, because like our grandmothers, they didn't have the luxury of thermoregulated nightwear. And I just love that you're a groundbreaker and you've created this line that it wasn't there and you've created it. So tell me a bit about the process of where you began with your research and the journey to creating what we have now of these beautiful, amazing dry wicking nighties. I love it. And I love that you're size friendly. You've got every size, from those gorgeous little slim ladies to me.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure we were all covered, everybody. Well, there are a couple of people that make menopause nightwear. So I did the same as you. I thought, right, I'll purchase some menopause nightwear. And the first night I put it on, it's got like a plastic element to it. Yeah, so it looks like, swimwear, that feeling of swimwear. So it feels just like swimwear. So when you're lying in bed, it feels strange because you think you're going swimming. And when my husband touched it, he was like, "Ew, what is that? That's a really strange feeling." I have to say it did work. Honestly, it did work. So anybody who's bought this, they'll know what I'm talking about. And it did really work. But I figured that I'm a very natural type of person. So I wondered if there was anything natural, and there wasn't. So I thought, well, I can do better than that. I'm sure I can come up with something. And I had a friend who was like you. I had a friend who was a chemist, and it turned out that he was a materials chemist. So we talked a lot about the wicking qualities of materials. I didn't even know what wicking was. I had no idea of that concept. And he was amazing. He said the best wicking material is wool, apparently. But you're not really going to wear wool in bed, are you? You're not going to wear wool to make you feel cool. So that was a no-no. And then quite high on the wicking list is bamboo, this little baby. So I decided to go with bamboo. And then I looked up other wicking materials, and one is eucalyptus. So another all natural, totally, it's got like the antibacterial properties, all natural, is naturally cooling, just lovely. Doesn't take herbicides and pesticides and all of those kinds of things, all the nasties that get sprayed onto plants these days. Because bamboo is, apparently it's a weed. It's grown like a weed and it grows really quickly. So they don't need all of the nasties, and they don't need lots of water to grow them. So so I decided I did lots of testing like this. I'll just show you. Can you see this? Different kinds of material. So I had samples made of different kinds of material, with so much bamboo, so much eucalyptus, and eventually came up with the 50-50 mix that is now. So
well,
one that you're wearing
is amazing. So it's 50-50.
Thank you.
because it just,
Yeah,
it has
yeah,
such a, go on, sorry. The delay is hard.
49%. Yeah, I'm sorry. 49% bamboo and 49% eucalyptus, and then 2% spandex.
It's just amazing, and you've just nailed it, because it has, that sort of stretchiness from the spandex, I assume, but it's so smooth and feels so nice, and it just, I don't know, it doesn't. Some of them that have a heavier reliance on bamboo are a bit thicker.
Okay,
yeah. So it just feels like a second skin. I just love it.
Thank you. See, that makes my day hearing that. That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. You've nailed it. All of the trials and testing to get to this, it was worth it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Well, it did take a while. Was it a year? I think it was 2 years from start to finish. It took. And the people that I dealt with in China were amazing. Like, really, they led me by the hand. They were really, really good. So if anybody wants any recommendations for who to try, if you're going to make a material or come up with something, please let me know.
Yeah,
they were really kind. And then the only thing, obviously, I had to do definitely was I had to come up with what the material, the qualities I wanted, and I had to obviously sample all of the different ones they made for me and say what I liked, what I didn't like. But then I also had to design the tops and that was a really nice process. I really enjoyed doing it, but it's really difficult, isn't it, trying to think of what everybody could wear? Do you know what I mean? Because what you would like yourself, but what I like might not be what you like. So it was trying to come up with something that I liked, that I thought everybody else would like, that would fit my size, your size. It was just, honestly, I had so many trial and errors.
But I love it. You've come up with this great range now. Like, so all the trial and error got you to a great place, because, like, for me, I love these 90s. And my daughter, who's turning 40, she absolutely loves the French knickers and the cami.
The cami. Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you.
So it really does just, it hits everybody's needs. There's something for everybody.
Yeah, well, I just today reordered the knickers sets, because I've sold out, almost sold out. I don't have very many left. And they've been really popular. I thought the longer length chemise would be the most popular, but not at all. It's the shorts ones have been really popular. So it's just a big learning process, isn't it? Things that you learn on the journey that I would do differently now compared to the way I thought it was going to go. So, but I've loved every minute of learning this whole process. It's been fabulous.
Well, and do you have anything that you'd change from any of that?
Yeah, I think I did the same as you. I had what my intuition told me, certain colours, and then I sort of sent out, like, they say, oh, do your research. So I sent out a questionnaire to anybody who would fill one in and asked what colours. And so I ended up with the pink that you're wearing, so that and then like a beigey type colour, and then like a creamy colour, which looks kind of like lemon as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then the blue, and this one, the blue, is the one that sells the most. That's completely sold out. And this one, the creamy colour, is the one that sold the least. So I thought that this one would sell quite well because it's more neutral. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, no one buys it. It's amazing.
Well, I do think I know part of the reason for that, because I think that we have sort of had a bit of a lifestyle shift in the last decade. And I think that a lot of us love to be,
sorry, my dog.
He's so cute.
I'll just get.
We have to have another little cuddle cameo. Yes.
There we
Hello,
go.
Pops.
Hello.
Hello.
Say hello to the world. Yeah. Oh, look, there's Sandy. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. So you think that there's been a shift in, like, people's colors and things.
Well, not even colors, just in lifestyle, I think, because like our parents, they never would have worn their 90s and trounced around in their 90s all through the house. And I think our generation, when we have had a long day, especially then with menopause too, we come home, we're just like, oh, I'm shattered. My brain is foggy. I just want to have a shower and just relax. And I think that our choice of relaxing quite often, once we're home, is to jump into our 90s even before we cook tea. And I think that because
exactly,
we're sort of living in our 90s, I know for me, I was, we had a night about 2 weeks ago where I put on my Kavu 90. And then I thought, oh, I'm making pasta. What if I get sauce on my beautiful 90? And I ran back and changed into one of my
I'll just send you another one.
But I ended up in this horrible pilled, gross, printed dark one that really I should have thrown away years ago. But it was like my go-to because if I spill anything while I'm cooking in the kitchen, it won't be ruined.
Well, honestly, I did the same as you. I had my intuition and I had colours in my head that I thought would really work. And then I did the research and I looked at, have you heard of the White Company?
Oh, no, I'll have to look into them.
Oh, it's a really big UK company, and they do everything in their range is white or beige or cream.
Ah, okay.
It's really big. Like loads of people have all of their stuff. So I thought, well, Venus Air is such a big company, they must know what they're talking about. So I should really make sure that I have beige and I have cream. Yeah. But that's the two colors that don't sell.
Oh, yeah, I would have honestly thought that the cream, especially if it's got a little bit of a lemon tint, would be what everyone would want.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, next time, because there's obviously going to be a next time I would choose the colors that I originally thought I was going to go with.
Yeah. Yeah, that same thing of just, listen to your intuition and follow your own voice. Yeah.
And also, like, now I've had one batch of things sold. I've now got a better idea of people's sizes as well. So which sizes I would make more of, which sizes I'd make less of. So yeah, I honestly, I've learned so much. Like, if I could, I wouldn't want to go back and do it again any differently, really, because like you say, you learn so much on the journey, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you can always put that information to the good the next time round. So yeah. But the material itself, I definitely would keep this material. Definitely, there's nothing I would change about the actual material. It's more the colors of the material next time round. Definitely.
Yeah, well, you've nailed it, I reckon. Absolutely. It feels so good. Oh, well, thanks so much, Mandy, for taking the time to sort of chat a bit more in detail about the Kavu clothing line. And I just want to leave it with, hey, everyone, I Kavu, and so should you.
Thank you so much, honestly. Mandy, you're a little darling. Honestly, you are. And thank you. You've been really kind to me.
It's been a pleasure. And thanks for being one of those brave women that just stepped outside the box and created something for all the rest of us.
Yeah, you too, honestly. Yours is more brave than mine, to be fair. Like, it's brave to come out with a product like that, very much so. But yeah, and then talk about it every day. But you've done a really, really good job, honestly. Definitely, if you want to get your mojo back, you need to buy some. So, like, direct message me. I've got some to give away as well.
Yes, absolutely. If you're watching this and you're in the UK, Mandy is the go-to for HappyPause as well as the Kavu line.
Yeah, look, I have a beautiful box of them ready to give away. I've given some away. I have actually had some requests and sent some on the way, but I still have more. So please just direct message me, find me on Instagram, and I will send you a pot. No problem at all.
Oh, lovely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Sandy. You're a darling. Thank you so much.